August 30th, 2014, from Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, was the number 16 ranked Clemson Tigers versus the number 12 ranked Georgia Bulldogs. And what a game this was. Clemson got on the board first as DJ Howard got a 1-yard run to put the Tigers on the board 7-0. But the Bulldogs didn't waste much time tying it up as Todd Gurley had a 23-yard run as he ripped through the defense of Clemson to tie this game at 7 apiece a little after the midway point in the first quarter. Then with 35 seconds left in the quarter, Hudson Mason had a 2-yard run for the Bulldogs to put them up by a touchdown 14-7. So that'd be it for the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, a little over a minute in, Clemson tied the game as Deshaun Watson threw a 30-yard touchdown pass to Sharon Peak that made the score tied at 14 apiece. Then about the midway point in the second quarter, C.J. Davidson had a 1-yard run that put Clemson up by a touchdown at 21-14. But less than 15 seconds later, and it was on the kickoff, Todd Gurley comes up with another huge play for the Bulldogs as he had a 100-yard kickoff return to tie this game up. So this game would be tied at 21 apiece going into halftime. Then in the third quarter, Georgia scored first as Marshall Morgan had a 27-yard field goal. That would be the only scoring for the third quarter as the Bulldogs took a 3-point lead at 24-21. But the fourth quarter would belong to Georgia as they just dominated in the fourth quarter as well as the whole second half of this game. And in the fourth quarter, Todd Gurley scored his third touchdown of the game as he now made it 31-21 as the Bulldogs took a 10-point lead. Then Nick Chubb had a 47-yard run. It was now 38-21 Bulldogs. And then Nick Gurley scored his fourth touchdown of the game. This one a 51-yard run, and it was now 45-21 as the Bulldogs ended up running away with this one off of the strength of Gurley's legs. And Gurley is just a huge playmaker. The guy is fucking phenomenal and making his case for the Heisman in this game for sure. He can keep this up. Watch out for Georgia. Gurley had 198 yards on the ground. He averaged 13.2 per carry and he had 3 touchdowns. So Gurley coming up huge, and he had a reception, but that actually lost 5 yards. But he came up big on the ground. Chubb had another 70 yards on the ground. All together, Georgia rushed for 328 yards against this Clemson defense. And Clemson only managed to put up 102 yards on the ground. I mean, it was bad. It was really that second half. It looked like Clemson actually early on looked to be in control. They scored first. They actually looked like they were going to maybe win this game. But no, Georgia, they're a second half team. They showed that today. Todd Gurley, he just freaking phenomenal. That kick return 100 yards. That was a huge, huge moment when he tied the game up. That swung momentum, and that was something that Clemson never came back from. So the Georgia Bulldogs are marching towards the national championship. They've got a lot of teams in their way, but they just took down one of the toughest challenges right here in week 1 of the college football season as they beat Clemson.